I felt like Spider-Man when he first walks into the SHIELD headquarters. And he's like, what?
Oh yeah, this is sick.
Yeah, dog.
My friends are gonna be like, what?
What is that?
I'm Emma. I'm a flight test engineer here at Beta Technologies, and I help test our experimental aircraft. So what that means is we're gonna put together a series of tests to make sure that our aircraft actually performs the way we said it's gonna perform and can perform it safely. Obviously, the Federal Aviation Administration has a lot of regulations to operate an aircraft. Our primary role would be designing tests from day to day that either looks like we're writing a test plan, which means we're literally sitting down like, this is step by step how we're gonna do this test, and here's all the safety considerations we have for that test. Definitely we have reduced emissions when you have an all-electric aircraft. I'll give you the full tour.
It's like a big puzzle, and I think that that's what drew me to engineering. So it was really cool to see one of these planes in person.
So these numbers that you see, 1 through 5, that's where a battery would go. You can look up under the aircraft.
How fast does it go?
Our current top speed is 120 knots.
Nice.
And we're able to fly it basically down all the way to Arkansas on our charge network. And honestly, the best part to me was like every airport we stopped at, like there was just a little crowd of people, or there was a big crowd of people that would like come out, and these people would be like, what is this thing? Like, is this a UFO? We're like, it is not. It's not a UFO, I swear.
What specific parameters does like an aircraft need to meet in order for it to be considered safe?
There's a lot of parameters. So the FAA has a whole bunch of guidelines on what's considered safe, but they don't actually have one for electric VTOL aircraft. You're just looking to make sure that you're able to operate your aircraft if you have some sort of electrical failure. We run off electricity entirely, so what happens if we don't have electricity? At what point can we operate our aircraft? So that's why before we even fly an aircraft, like any aircraft ever, right, you do an extensive ground testing. We're like, does it operate on the ground as intended? And if it does not operate on the ground, then we're not gonna take it in the air. And until we fix that, we obviously wanna get the pilots home safe each and every time. That's like the primary mission. Something people get really hung up on is they look at the big picture and all very doom and gloom, because they're like, oh my gosh, we've had such a huge impact. There's nothing we can do at this point. But I think if we just even try to take a small step to reduce emissions, eventually that's gonna make an impact, that's gonna have a difference. The hope is that over the next couple of years, we'll be able to certify it and have it more widespread. But a lot of that is working with the FAA to get it certified. And so we work with the regulators, and as they figure out what they think the appropriate criteria for safe operations is, we'll continue to work with them and work towards those goals. So there will still be environmental challenges. That's not going to disappear, but it's kind of figuring out how to use, the resources we have now and what we have now, and how can we basically make cleaner and more sustainable energy. And I think a big piece of that puzzle will be electric technology.
When they talked about how they can just take one of their helicopters and fly from Burlington to Plattsburgh as their morning commute, I was like, what? It was cool hearing how you can pursue what you're passionate in and end up landing this super awesome job doing cool things every day.